Hello. Welcome back, you guys. This is episode 3 of Weekend at Bernie's, and I am your host, Alex Bernatz. So, lots going on. When's it not, though? I also don't know if the music is a little too loud in the background, but maybe a nice little soft soundtrack to this episode, to the day. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. Very grateful to be looking out these gorgeous bay view windows. My view is planes taking off. It's actually really cool, especially during like sunset and golden hour. Very grateful. But today I wanted to talk about how the pop up went last weekend. I can't believe that was already last weekend. Labor Day flew by so quickly. It was a very long weekend, I will say, but had such a great time playing with my friends. I think being in my mid 30s right now and where I'm at in life, obviously a very stable job, my friends that are here, my community that's evolved, like I literally feel like Sex in the City, in terms of just being able to go out with friends, grabbing a drink, hanging out, going to the park, going to the beach, going to our friends' restaurants and cafes, and like supporting each other and doing cool shit and like events and everything, the music scene, the creative scene. Like, this is such a fun and beautiful time to be in San Diego in my mid, I don't want to say late 30s yet because I'm only 34. So definitely mid 30s. But I also love just being able to text my friends to see if they are available to play. I love that we can play. I think it's so important to incorporate playtime in our daily lives. We're in the mundane routine of work and everything else, but you got to sprinkle in the fun, the joy, the friendship. Friendship is so important and so needed and necessary. And especially, I keep saying this, but during these times, like that's what's going to get us through, relying on each other, supporting each other, having fun with each other, loving on each other. Um, Even though it might seem like shit is so chaotic and hectic right now, I also don't know if you can hear that in the background. Bossa M Nova York. Definitely butchered that one. I'll drop it in a new playlist. It's a little bossa nova music. Um, Portuguese obviously is not a language that I speak. Can kind of pick it up here and there, but anyways, I digress. So, going back to playtime, hanging with friends, just being at that point in our lives where we're able to support that and do so. It's just been really beautiful and very very grateful. So, with all of that said, leading into the pop up last Saturday at Flor and Seed, Labor Day weekends. It was popping. It was hot. People were dropping it like it was hot, running to the water, especially because, I mean, the heat and the humidity, girl was sweating. I drenched, glistening. Definitely needed to stay hydrated all the time. Um, but the pop-up was really fun and it was really beautiful, and seeing my friends come together to help create the overall experience and vibe. I had my best friend Dee Dee, aka Dabbles, DJing the event. I had my girl Kelly, aka Needle and Hum, and Foreign Local, uh, great singer songwriter, incredible voice, really great in embroidery, helping me out as my shop assistant for the pop up. And then, of course, having family come out, friends come out, tourists walking around, checking it out. The backyard was just a really beautiful space. I'm sorry, a back patio. Feels like a backyard, you know. And it was just such a good time. And I'm just so grateful again for Jan and the shop to be able to provide the space for the event. Of course, there's always room for improvements and refinements, but for the most part, being able to utilize the space and just pop up for the day um, was really fun. You know, we had our tote bags that were there, sold a few before the pop up. We still have quite a few left over. So if you are still in the San Diego area, if you live here in San Diego, stop by the shop. We're going to make those a permanent item in the shop, and proceeds are going to continue to go to Border Angels. I've also uploaded them onto the Such a Fucking Lady website. So go and check them out. If you don't live in the area and you still want to purchase and you still want to support, you can definitely do so. Those are now live and available. Um, and talks to come back and do more. I definitely would love to have like a monthly residency there, something that we've discussed and talked about. Maybe returning back in October. September is already going to be a very fun and filled month. Travels as always. But instead of just doing it for one day on Saturday, looking to do it for the full weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The amount of work and effort that we put into it and the setup and everything, it's just it's a whole experience. I literally create a whole little pop-up shop with the racks and the rugs. But again, always room for improvement, always refinement. um, but I'm glad people had a good time. I also loved that people were pulling cards. I One of the things that I do to create the experience is I bring my cards, my oracle decks, some of my tarot, um, so people have the opportunity to do that for themselves and pull a card for the day, do give themselves a reading. Um, just a very relaxed environment, a sacred space. I basically create my room, my home. I bring my home with me where I go when I set up these pop-up shops. So that's kind of the experience that you receive when you attend these things. Um, but I just love seeing everybody's experience with it, finding some vintage gems, some contemporary pieces, purchasing a tote bag and everything else. But all of that to say, I'm excited to continue to keep building on that and to continue to nurture that. I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really feel like that is my eclipse story right now. But also just surrendering and allowing things to take off at the speed and the time that they're going to. I've been working on digitizing my inventory. It's been a long time coming on that one. So uploading that into an Excel sheet, all the fun, tedious work to make sure that all the things that I do are maintained so that I can scale and expand. But very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you again for all of the support and stay tuned. We're going to do a little behind the scenes, a little chat with the shop and Jan, just getting a little bit more backstory on the shop, talking about Border Angels and everything else. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a little interview on that and continuing to build and expand this. So thank you guys again. Tune in next week for another episode. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and do so. Subscribe to my Substack, weekendetbernies.substack.com. I'll be dropping all of these episodes on there, podcasts, playlists, my vintage, and there's also a link to Such a Fucking Lady as well. But thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Catch you guys next time.